That's a really hard question because it's a tale of two Goffs. The first beginning, we were outraged by Goff because it seemed like he couldn't do anything right. He would throw the ball away on fourth down, and it seemed like every game it was at least two interceptions or a fumble and interception. He was a turnover machine right away. But since week 12, I think he was rated top 10 in almost every category. So what Goff do we get next year? In my opinion, just in case, we should draft a quarterback and then in with the second first round pick because you get that fifth year option, and that helps a lot with cap space. And then if it turns out Goff is your future, you could always trade the guy that you drafted.
Okay, so you're on the board with drafting a quarterback with the second
Yes.
first round pick. Are you on board with that, Antonio Hightower?
I'm definitely on board with that. I've been on board with drafting a QB even before this draft. I don't think Goff is the QB we need in terms of our future. I think he'll be here, at least for next year, specifically, just at least for cap reasons. I don't know if the franchise truly believes in him enough as to be the guy. So I think they might address QB this year or next year, but I definitely would be okay with taking one the second round, first round pick if it's a nice prospect.
I guess I'll be the dissenter here. As much as I wouldn't mind getting a quarterback, I'm really falling in love with a couple of prospects who I think will be there with that second first-round pick. Kobe Dean, I think I'm falling in love with this guy. His hitting ability, his sideline to sideline. He is really something I feel that this could really help this defense out and take it to that next level. I think he could be there. I think that Drake London could be there. Man, oh man, we need wide receiver, and he potentially could be, put him on the opposite of Amon-Ra St. Brown. Amon-Ra St. Brown likes him. Really take that to the next level. I'd like to give Jared Goff this next year to see if he can do anything. Now, if a quarterback falls that you don't expect, I wouldn't have a problem with that in my opinion. But as much as the talent that there is, I just don't want to pass up on some of this extremely great talent. Someone put in the comment section, Adam Gay says new offensive coordinator for the Lions. I literally just puked in my mouth, and it was a joke. They're obviously joking. That was crazy, man. I would not want that. That would be a terrible, terrible thing. Far-fetched, but to say Thibodeau falls to number 2 and the Giants want him, would you accept a trade back, and acquire? Yes, I would accept a trade and to trade back. If we're at 2, they want Thibodeau, I will fall back. Damn straight I will. I'll get that draft picks, darn. That will help our team out immensely.
Oh, yeah. Especially if you get 2 of their first-round picks. And then we have 3 in the first round. That would be a dream come true. And then you get probably the number 1 guy in the draft in Kyle Hamilton. If he's still there at that pick, there's a possibility of like a Derek Stingley or, man, get my hopes up like that. That's not cool.
I would be really happy. I think trade back scenario is the best case. And I know Antonio Hightower talks about this a lot. How'd you feel about a trade back scenario?
I'd really like to see a trade back scenario. I think we need to trade back. We need to queue draft picks. I think we need to do this last year. I think we need to do it this year. Get more draft picks. I think the talent in this class is deep enough that the drop off isn't that huge. I don't know exactly what teams are gonna move up, but see who's interested in who as the cycle goes on. It's very early in the cycle. At this point in the cycle, we don't really know anything about what teams think. But if there's an opportunity to move back, and we don't move back too far, I definitely be up for it.
If you're a Detroit Lions fan and you don't have this app, Lions Nation Unite, then you are failing yourself. This is a fantastic app. You got to check this bad boy out. Go to lionsnationunite.com, download the app. You can create posts, throw some images on there, make videos. Your other YouTubers are on there you can talk to. It's made by Herman Moore for Lions fans. It is absolutely awesome. You can also follow them on Twitter, Lions Nation U, and on their YouTube channel, Lions Nation unite. Doing some big things. And again, smash that like button. Let's get to 100 likes. We're 15 away. This is the mailbag segment. If you got questions, throw it in the comment section with a hashtag. That's what it's all about. And I'm losing my voice really quick. So I'm going to throw my buddy Dern on here really quick so he can help me out. Will you take Davis for sure if you trade back? That's a question here. You take Davis for sure. Treylon Burks or Drake London, who would you take?
Oh man, that is so hard. To me, I'm sorry, I'm a huge fan of Treylon Burks. That dude's size, speed, what he can do with his body in the air. He can do contested catches. He can go deep. He can do intermediate routes. I think I would go Burks.
What about you, Antonio Hightower? What would you do? Would you go Treylon Burks or would you go ahead and go Drake London?
Honestly, and as much as I love Drake London, I was praising him before last draft. Actually, in the middle of last draft, I was telling people to watch out for this guy as a potential prospect at wide receiver. Much as I love him, gotta give me Treylon Burks, man. Treylon Burks, I call him Baby DK. That dude is insanely athletic, 6'3", 230, and fast, real fast, dangerous at all parts of the field. Might need a little bit of development in terms, stuff of route running, but that guy is gonna be real dangerous, especially if you put him in the right offense. He's gonna be insanely dangerous.
Hashtag Lions. Who is happy that we don't have to see Kelly Stafford, Detroit Lions headlines this season? I'm happy. I'm tired of seeing her in the headlines. She can be very annoying. Who won this trade? Because I've been thinking about this. The way that Stafford been playing, throwing all these picks. He's become Matthew Pick Sixford. He's throwing a lot of interceptions, especially the end of the year. And then now you got Jared Goff playing better. Dern, who won the trade, man?
I can't officially say until I see who we draft with those picks. At least with these picks this year. But as of right now, I still love the trade. He didn't want to be here. It was a great trade. How do you get 2 first-round picks, a bridge quarterback, a second-round pick for a quarterback that throws pick sixes all the time and has a hurt back? I don't see anyone else getting that.
I don't see it. And it's funny, I was looking at the other quarterbacks. When it comes to the trades, you look at Carson Wentz, he's failing. He failed in Indianapolis. You look at the Carolina Panthers, traded for the Jets quarterback, he's failing for the Carolina Panthers. With all the quarterbacks that got traded, looks like we have the best one, I guess. What do you think about that there, Antonio Hightower?
Yeah, it was a great trade for us. Personally, I still do wish we would have did the trade with Carolina. The trade that would have, for everybody doesn't know, it would have been a trade to get us the number 8 overall pick. I think it was a 7th in Teddy Bridgewater for Matthew Stafford. I still think we should have took that pick. Even then, the trade back potential would have been insane, or just taking a player at that position because we some pretty good players who could have went there. But outside of that, I really do still like the trade. I would like us to use some of those draft. I would like us to entertain the idea of using those Rams draft picks to maybe trading up in the first this year, because I don't think the draft is going to be that amazing. So if I can get a higher impact player, I'd go for it. But all in all, I think it was a great trade.
This is a good one from Huron. I can't tell you what really to do here. Hashtag Eagles, a trade partner. 2, they get the second pick. We get 15 and 16. Would you take that trade, Dern?
Man, that's really hard. I know I had them as a trade partner before, but falling back that far beyond the 10th pick, 12th pick is really, really hard to do. I know you get those 2 first-round picks, but do they have to give you more than just those 2 because you fall back so far?
Picks. Just those 2 picks.
I don't know. I think you could get better than that.
What about you, Antonio Hightower?
That'd be an interesting deal. I think it would depend on how the draft cycle goes, because it's gonna be a bunch of prospects that move up the board. It's gonna be a bunch of random guys that come out of nowhere. For example, there's like the Mekhi Becton stuff. There are also guys that kind of come out of nowhere, and there's always the guys who move up the board out of nowhere. If you want a perfect example, Kyle Pitts shot up the boards last year. So I'd see all that, but for now, I'd have to say no. Um, if one of those was a top 10 pick, or if both were like around, if one was a top 10 pick, I'd probably say yes. But with that, I had to see the board and how it shifts. But for now, I had to say no.
If the Lions were to give Allen Robinson a 1-year deal, would you all approve? Would you take a 1-year deal for Allen Robinson, Darren?
Yes, I would.
What about you, Tone?
Yes, although I don't think he's coming here.
I have not seen their schedule, Patty, so I don't know what's going on with their schedule over there. But I know they got a tough one. The NFC West is just a tough schedule, man. They're all the teams are good. So if you're in the NFC West, you got a tough one. 3 of the teams are in the playoffs. 49ers, the Cardinals, and the Rams. That's crazy. That is crazy, folks. We've been on for nearly an hour, and I am sick. I got COVID. I don't even know how I lasted this long. So we're going to go ahead
I was just thinking that.
We're going to go ahead and close this show because I need to go lay down.